I'll give you all a few seconds to pop on, grab a drink, get comfy. Okay, just checking to make sure you can hear me and I am live. Feel free to give a thumbs up, a heart, or a comment and let me know that you are online and watching. And we'll get started here in a second. I always like to hear about people's weather. I don't know why. So especially just because it's so crazy, like throughout. So yeah, here in Illinois, it is stunning. Like, I mean, we're what, middle of July, and it was like 80 maybe today. Like, felt absolutely beautiful outside. Like, in the shade with the breeze, like, it felt like the most wonderful spring day, and it was awesome. Now, out in the sun, it did get a little toasty, but it's July, so I'm expecting that. So yeah, it was beautiful weather, and I think we're supposed to have really good weather for a long time. Actually, I take that back. Through the weekend. Because my weather says that it's supposed to rain all week next week. Brad disagrees and says his only shows 2 days of rain. And of course, we all know you never know what the weather's going to do until it's actually here. So, yeah. So let me know. Give me a shout out. Say hello. Let me know about your weather if you wish. And we will get started. So, hello and welcome. I am Laura with Laura's Stamp Pad, and I am doing my July 2024 online card class. It's completely free to watch, so great to learn tips, tricks, and fun things about stamping, while also seeing techniques and different things like that with card making. So, I will be sharing all of that in this class today. I am doing a Christmas in July class. So this is with new online exclusive products. I think all the products I'm using are new online exclusives. So if anything, love, love, love this Greetings of the Season stamp set. It has a beautiful scrolly font. You guys know how much I love a scrolly font. It also has like a smaller like block font. It has a good inside-outside greeting. It also has all of your Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. You can even do Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. There's also a to and from for a good tag. So it's a great stamp set. I also want to show you, this is Greetings of the Season. This is Everyday Greetings, and it's the same like two-tone greeting where there's like a block and then there's a scrolly, and it has all of your like basic greetings of birthday, anniversary, thank you, congratulations, thinking of you, hello, and I love the fact that there's an anniversary in there. I feel like, I mean, I send a lot of anniversary cards, and I feel like a lot of stamp sets don't technically have anniversary. And while I usually just do like a love card, sometimes a love card seems a little bit more like personal, like something I would give my husband versus like an aunt. Or it feels more wedding-y, and, you know, it might be like, not that you shouldn't be celebrating. A lot of times I usually say, hopefully you take time today to remember that special wedding day that you had. So, I mean, I get that, but still, it's not really my preference to send like a wedding e-card to an anniversary. But love the Everyday Greetings. That's also a online exclusive. So I will be using the Greetings of the Season stamp set and the coordinating dies, which are fabulous labels that have a fun stitch to them. Let's see if you can see. There's that fun stitch, and then there's also like a tag hole, which you'll notice in one of my cards, I didn't really want the tag hole, so I put a jewel over the top of it, and then you can't tell it's got a tag hole. So there's ways to, you know, modify if you don't want a tag hole on all of yours. But there's a fun stitching around it too, like a little dotted edge, which you'll be able to see in the samples a little bit better, I think. The other stamp set that I'm using is the Golden Greenery. So there's no greetings in this stamp set. It has beautiful evergreens, I have absolutely no clue what these two things are, but they are wintry things, I'm assuming. I don't know. If you know what they are, let me know. There's also holly berries, or just berries. They don't have to be holly berries. And I know that there's none of these are holly leaves, so those could just be berries. And then there's the two sizes of bells, and both the images for a two-step stamping. These two are a two-step stamping. Actually, everything is. Like, there's the little bell, the big bell, whatever that is, and then the evergreen, and then the little berries. And you can use them as one, or you can use them like, you know, together as a two-step stamping. And you'll see in some of my cards, I did just use one, so that was good too. Hi, Jeanne. Super hot and sunny in Southern Oregon. Well, that is fabulous. We had some super hot days a couple weeks ago, so I get that. Upstate New York, look at you guys, like both ends of or sides of the United States. Hi, Christine. One stamp looks like hearts. Yes, it does. This one, the die cut also looks like little like little hearts. Like it's so cool. The dies that coordinate with this are pretty fun too, because some of them die cut out the image, and then some of them like die cut out like a solid cardstock. So you, like not a stamp and die cut. So there's a stamp and die cut, which is this one for the evergreen. But then there's also little evergreen ones that you can do. And that goes for the other ones too. And yes, I do think it looks like hearts. And one of the cards that we're doing tonight, I think would make a great wedding card, but it would also work as a Christmas card too. So yeah, you know what? Why don't we just start with that one so I'm not like super like losing you guys. But look how beautiful this is. When it comes to Christmas cards, I will be completely honest. Christmas cards, my immediate color pick is Night of Navy, which was actually the first card that I was going to do, but I'm going to do this one first. And like I usually go for those rich tones. But Night of Navy always seems to be my color. And then of course I go for, you know, your purple, like deep purple, not rich raspberry, blackberry, right? Yes, blackberry bliss. All of a sudden I was second guessing myself. Blackberry bliss, and then like, you know, your cherry cobblers and your greens. Well, I did one in navy, one in the blackberry bliss, and then the rest are all going to be in shades of green. But this one, it says love and joy. So how fabulous is that? I think it would make a great wedding card. And then it's got these beautiful heart-shaped looking, I don't know what plant that is. And this is also the one where I didn't want the hole for the ribbon. So I did a jewel on either side. So it almost makes it look like like I don't want to say a tag because I covered up the hole, so it wasn't a tag, but like a label, you know, where you like tack it on either side. And it just uses 3 strips of the designer paper. So let's get started. So here we have our Blackberry Bliss card base. Super, super dark. Use my bone folder for that nice strong crease. You guys might hear my glass mat. This will be the first class that I'm using the glass mat. So we'll see how it goes. And I've just kind of started playing with it this week. So I don't like super have an opinion either way. Like, oh, I love it. Or like, I got to move that. It's going away. My 3 strips here are actually a 1/2 inch apart from each other. So I'm not actually doing them like a Christmas tree like that. But I'm going to do, you know, one low and one high and have those different sizes. And I just realized that I cut the wrong paper for this one. I did the starbursts for this card, and I did the little squares for this one, but that's okay. Again, shows you the versatility. This paper pack is stunning. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to go with my best version of the center. And then this one is going to go down and to the right. And this one is going to go up and to the left. And really, if those are a little crooked, it doesn't matter. I will say mine looks super crooked here, and I feel like you can see it here. But I think that's just me, probably. So don't stress about it. It's okay. No one's going to notice. Well, hello, Denise. Your go-to is Night of Navy as well. Hi, Lynn. Oh, my gosh. So excited to have all of you guys on. Okay, so then this is the die cut that does look like those little hearts. And it coordinates with that stamp. But like I said, there's a stamp there. You can stamp and die cut, or you can do this one. And this one does like a little line down it too. Again, if you know the name of whatever this is, great. I went ahead and die cut 2 of those in Very Vanilla, and then I also die cut the circle tag in Very Vanilla, and of course, what am I doing? I'm doing my hardest card first. I don't know that it's the hardest, but I'm heat embossing. We have not heat embossed in how long? Crazy. So yeah, it has been forever since I have heat embossed. So we are doing the Love and Joy, and honestly, I have a bridal shower tomorrow, and I thought of this card for that bridal shower, but then I kept thinking I can't use this card, like I'm gonna have to make another one for the bridal shower. And look, I just realized I am making another one tonight, so now I can use the sample for my next class. Also, I will say this, I don't even know, it's a tricky one to stamp, because like I kind of want to do it with the joy, but if you do it with the joy, then the love and the and are super off. So the J really needs to be like angled like this and not straight up and down. Because like I think joy looks here, but then love is like this and the and is like that. So again, try not to lose your mind on the placement of that. So I'm using Versamark. So it's just a watermark. You can't see it. And then I'm going to bring in the mat that goes with this glass. It's the silicone mat. And I'm just going to pour the powder over the top. This is gold embossing powder. And tap off the excess back in there. And now I'm going to take my heat tool. I didn't do the magic of television with this one, so you're just going to have to listen to it. But I will let you see the magic of having it melt, because I absolutely love that. I was wondering if I had any tweezers around, which I do not. And I do remember this got pretty warm on me the other day. That thing sticks really hard to your glass mat. So I will say it ain't moving whenever you do it. Okay, I'm going to have to leave this. Hi, Linda. So good to see you guys on. I'm not going to talk much, I don't think, to allow you to be able to not have to listen to me through the noise of this. It does take a second to kind of warm up. There it goes. Okay, and I actually, that almost fell off the table. So there's our Love and Joy with the gold embossing. And the inside of my card, I actually did those hearts. And I did not do the two-step stamping. I just did the heart image, whatever this is. So I just did this on the corner. Again, stamped it in that Versamark, so you can't really see it because it's just a watermark stamp image. Ooh, that one came out nice and clean. Unlike my original sample, there kind of was some gold splotches all over. This one I might be able to hold up a little closer for you. There it goes. I just love. I don't really like the mess of heat embossing, which is probably why I don't get it out as often as I should. But I just love the way it melts and like crawls across the paper. Like, it's so magical in my opinion, but you're not so good with heat embossing powder. I have like a love-hate relationship with it. I feel like sometimes it comes out amazing and I get like on a roll, and then like I have like a not so good one and I'm like, maybe I don't like it. But I find it to be a lot of tools, and I find that, like, to me, I think Versamark makes a mess on your stamps, and I don't like that as much. But it's super stunning to pull out and do every once in a while. Or if you're going to do it, do a lot. Do a whole mess of these cards. Maybe I should. Maybe I should do a whole bunch of, like, wedding cards and maybe even Christmas cards with it. Okay, so we have our little greeting label. And I am going to add dimensionals on the back of that. And you know I'm going to add a lot of dimensionals. I'm actually going to put one right over top of that hole because I want it to super hold on to my jewel. And I'm even going to put way too many. Yes, I'm aware. I would have done 4. For some reason, I decided to add 2 extras and make it 6. I will say practice does help. The more you practice, the better you get at it, and the more relaxed you get too. But the reason why I put a whole mess of dimensionals on there is because I'm actually not putting any adhesive on these pieces. I'm just gonna let the dimensionals cover that. So let's see. Do I want this like centered on that middle strip? So I'm going to really press in because I want it to get in the grooves of these. And you'll see, like, I'm tugging on it and it's not moving. I don't want it to rip. I'm tugging on it and it's not moving. And then I have that dimensional over there, so it's a little extra sticky. And these are some new embellishments. Let me show you. So there's like cherry cobbler, there's a cluster of 3, and then there's singles, and then there's these pearly ones, and again, cluster of 3 and the singles. So I am going to use the singles, and here's my take your pick tool, but so one is going to go on there, and then like I was like, I'm going to put one there and then, you know, like all over. But then I felt like it looked like odd to be offset, which is why I just put one on the other side to make it look like a label or like a bracket. And then I just thought it needed more. So I added, since they, you should decorate in odds, then I added 3 more. And then this piece goes on the inside. Whoa. So there you have your Love and Joy, and then that little extra pop of gold on the inside. And again, you can see I did 2 different strips of the designer paper, but yet still a stunning card. I kind of like the placement of my jewels here. This one I did up here and then like 2 down here and then the label. I don't know. But I'm such a freak. I feel like I get super nervous about the placement of jewels. And then I'm like, Laura, it really doesn't matter. And then I wing it and just put them wherever. So that is card number 1. I did want to share with you guys the designer paper real quick because it is so beautiful. So there's a gold foil side, and then there is also a printed side. So you can see there's this like triangle, diamond, or diamond or a square if you look at it this way, and then green. And then there's also this one that's got that foliage all over and like a solidy green. And then there's this, which we will do a card where I actually die cut from this paper. So you can see there's like the garden green one and then the old olive one. And I did the card in old olive, and that is this card. But you could do this same card in the garden green and use the other pieces. So, or you could mix and match your greens and do it the same way. So you could do the same style of card, but change up the greens in order to use the different prints. But the die cuts actually die cut this paper. So you don't have to worry about that. And then there's like a green stripe. And then this one is the one I was supposed to use, the Starburst. And then it's got that heart-shaped one on the back. I don't know if I do have a full or a fuller piece of those. And then there's this one. Again, it does have like the greenery pieces. This is not die cut though. It doesn't match the die cuts. The bells and stuff don't. Actually, these bells might, but I don't think that one does because it doesn't have the bow. And then there's the plaid. And then I think that's, oh wait, here's another one. So you can see the gold foil in that. And then it's actually green dots. You also might notice that it has both white and vanilla. So I used a lot of vanilla cardstock on this, but you also could use white. And then, of course, when it comes to envelopes, you can use both white or vanilla, whichever you prefer. I know Stampin' Up! Stopped selling the vanilla envelopes. So if you have old vanilla envelopes that you bought in the past, you can always use those. You can always make your own envelopes, or you can always purchase the white ones and then use white with it. Okay, so card number 1. And then we will go ahead and do this one for card number 2. I'll really whack up my order. I never know which ones to do first. Even in my in-person classes, I'm always like, well, if I do this one first, maybe it'll get the hardest one done first or last or vice versa. I do them different all the time, and there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Sometimes I just wing it. Sometimes it's just the first one on the stack, and I laid it out, and I'm like, well, that's the way it goes. Oh, goodness gracious me. I forgot the embossing of this one. So I used the eyelet embossing folder, There are so many different embossing folders you could use for this, but I didn't emboss this here. So let me go get the embossing folder. Okay, so one of my other favorites, sorry about that. One of my other favorite folders right now is this one with the crosshatch pattern. Love, love, love that one. But I just got this eyelet one, I don't know, like two months ago, a month ago. And I hadn't really used it a lot. And I thought, well, that would look really pretty with this, with that like star pattern, I feel like. So that's the one I use. Again, this is something you could use whatever embossing folder you want. A wood grain one would be fabulous. Circles, hearts, snowflakes, stars. Any of those would be fabulous. So this is going to go on our card front, and I'm actually going to use tear and tape. When it comes to embossed images, I really feel like they need a little extra oomph to hold secure. I don't know about you. I also don't like to use a tape runner over the top of an embossed image because I feel like it, if I press too hard to make sure that I get even coverage of the adhesive, then I'm like ruining the embossed image. And I don't want to do that. I could always, which I have done before, but I realized I just like tear and tape better. But I have put it on this and then just made sure to stay away from the border, knowing that this is going to have a border. But I have just found I really like tear and tape for embossed images because I feel like it's nice and secure. Do you guys like tear and tape? I love tear and tape. So strong. I love that I don't need to use scissors with it. I can just tear it because then it doesn't gunk up my scissors. Love, love, love it. Okay, so you guys saw that beautiful designer paper. And so I have 2 of these that I die cut out that are going to go there. And then I did want to go ahead and stamp and show you the bells. And then if for some reason I messed them up, then I actually had extras. So I'm using Pecan Pie ink. You know, I really find I'm not a brown person. You guys all know that. And I actually wasn't a gold person, but I don't really know if I can say that anymore. I do prefer white gold or silver, but I do like, not jewelry, but I do like gold a lot when it comes to stamping. I feel like almost more so than silver. So I used to not be a gold person, but I think I am now. But Pecan Pie is very goldy looking. So if you're looking for a stamped ink color that is goldish, go for Pecan Pie because I'm telling you, I really think Pecan Pie is fabulous. So when it comes to stamping the bells, there are the 2 sizes. I actually stamp the outline image in full strength first. And the reason why I do that is because I find it easier to look through a stamped off stamp than it is to look through a full strength stamp. So, like, let me know which one is easier to see. So there's this one and this one. And it's much easier to see through the stamped off bell than it is to see through a full strength. So then I can see through it and line it up. You're sad? Yes, because you want to play with the marble run, but it's bedtime. I understand. I know. Do you want to tell our friends hello? Say hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
Say have fun stamping with mommy.
This is Mommy.
I love you. Night night, baby. Night night. I love you. Lovies. Okay, so yeah, it's easier to look through a stamped off image than it is, and line it up than it is to look through a stamped image or a full strength image. And then you can line up your bells. And then, like I said, there are dies that coordinate with the bells. There is both a big one and a little one. Somewhere here. I have no clue where the other one is, but it's around here somewhere. So there's that one. This is why I pre-die cut them. And I also colored it with Wink of Stella because I just felt like the bell needed a little shimmer and shine. So can you see the Wink of Stella shine on there? Hopefully you can. And then I'm going to take this one and add some glitter all around. Okay. I love Wink of Stella. I feel like it's safe glitter. The one thing I'm super not sure I trust yet is like how much I can like wipe off on the glass mat. Because, you know, since it's a glass mat, it's going to like hold ink. You know, like if I stamped directly onto it, it's going to pool rather than soak in like my grid paper. And so I'm like still kind of nervous about all that. Okay, then I have the Wishing You a Merry Christmas. And I'm so glad I'm doing this card next because I lined these up and I was like, okay, don't move them. I have Wishing You A, and then Merry, and then Christmas, and I got them lined up, and they're good, and we're not moving them. Perfect. Feels good. Okay, now we're going to add this to our card front with dimensionals. Again, I like to use tear and tape for a flat look. And I like to use dimensionals on embossed images for a raised look, but also I feel like the dimensionals will like fall into the grooves of the embossed image. And so it'll really secure that thing on there. And because you guys all know I'm an overuser, I added a lot. Okay, maybe too many. Okay, so now this tag is going to go here in the middle. And then I'm going to add these to the top. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the adhesive. But I'm also going to add a mini to some of the leaves. Hi, babe.
Had a stick and then went onto my back and then that's red. So I got out of back and then so I didn't have to like
hold it. So I'm gonna kind of like place this here and realize like I kind of want some up here and maybe around there. So these outer three. And that'll help the image kind of look even across without double embossed or double raised. Because like if I put them everywhere, it would be double raised on here and down there. But I just want it to be nice and smooth. So there's that one. So now it's raised out here and smooth and adhered there. This one has a piece that's not popped out. And again, I'm going to do mini dimensionals just because I know that they're going to fit in that spot. Yeah, that's good. Jeanette, I'm so sorry to hear that. and take all the time you need, and you can get back to card making at any time. You might find card making to be very therapeutic, though. Something to get your mind off of it, a creative outlet, that sort of thing. And then we have our 2 bells that I'm just going to add to the middle. And again, I'm just using my regular 2-sided adhesive, no extras. But I'm sending you big hugs, Jeanette. Big, big hugs. You guys, I'm a big hugger, and like I really just wish I could hug you guys all the time. Like to talk to people, like even like talking to people like on the phone or like on video chats and stuff, I'm always just like, wait, how am I saying bye without hugging you? Like it just doesn't feel right because I'm such a hugger. But I know some people aren't huggers. I find handshakes to be awkward. And my husband is not a hugger. And he is very firm in thinking like a handshake is, you know, a must and stuff. And I'm like, no, forget a handshake. Let's just hug and we're all family. And like, he's like more like it's professional. It's like, you know, the thing you do. And so yeah, we're a little opposite there, but that's okay. I really think that opposites always tend to marry each other. And it's a way to balance this all out. Okay, and then I'm going to use a few little mini glue dots on my bow. And I will share with you, this is another new ribbon. And it is like soft and fuzzy kind of. But it is also very easy to use, and it's not super like thick and bulky. Okay, that looks super off. I don't know. I trimmed like too short. There. Okay. But it's like, oh, there's a fuzzy. But it's like a fuzzy ribbon. Very soft, but it's not like, it's not stiff. It's not like hard to be able to like use. Very pliable, very easy to make bows and knots and stuff. And it's vanilla. It is in vanilla. But that is that card. Let's see what I actually did on the inside. Oh, yes, I forgot. So then, because I did that sheet, and it has these that I used for this card, and then I didn't want to use that because I felt like the green didn't match. So I used this because I was die cutting out all these pieces. So I just cut pieces of this and used it on the card. And like, it's also great to be able to use like the side pieces or like this piece. Or like, you know, like this one would be perfect because it would go right there in the corner. And that's what I did for the sample. I used 2 like random pieces that were on the edges and just added those to the corner. And like that one happened to be an actual corner piece. This is a full one. I actually kind of feel bad to cut it, but I'm just going to do it. And I'm just going to cut it like right there. And I think I'm going to do like something there, like towards the edge. Also, thank you so much for bearing with me with the children. Brad is doing an amazing job getting the kids to bed. Sounds like it's been a little chaotic up there as Alex stabbed Claire with a stick or something. But she is my child. She's very into boo-boos, Band-Aids, ice packs, all of that. So that's why she has an ice pack on her back. But yeah, there's my my bells to use on the next card I do. Whoops. And then Alex is going to bed, and we're potty training him this week. So if you could send all your good vibes and prayers and patience and all of that, that would be greatly appreciated. Wednesday was really hard. And then, so this one I'm actually going to use a vanilla envelope, and I'm going to do a bell on the envelope. But yeah, Wednesday at 4 o'clock, I gave up. I don't know. He just had zero. We did so good on Monday and Tuesday, and I think Wednesday, maybe he was just exhausted. Maybe he just mentally just wasn't having it. I don't know. The morning was fine. The afternoon, we set a timer, and we were going potty every 5 minutes, and he was dribbling. But then he was peeing his pants after that. And I was just like, I can't keep doing this. Can't find him. Oh, there it is. My other bell. And so I put him back in a diaper at 4 o'clock. And I know it probably wasn't the best thing for him. But you know what? It actually probably was. For him and for me. So we just took a break and moved on. Love the little bells. Although I'm not going to lie. I feel like I need to tie like a ribbon there or something. But it's the envelope. So I'm not going to tie a ribbon on the outside of the envelope. But yeah. This is card number 2. Using the designer paper here. You could also stamp those. So if you made a whole bunch of these and ran out of the designer paper but didn't want to buy more paper just for this card, you could always stamp those. They wouldn't have the gold flecks in there, but it would be beautiful just the same. But that is card number 2. Card number 3 is my navy. So I told you guys I really like navy for Christmas and gold. So we have a very vanilla card base. But I feel like either way we are like a solid week, not a solid week. We're only 5 days. 5 days in, progress is happening. The worst is maybe behind us. You know, there's always those 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And that was Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. So, it was hard on Wednesday. But I'm kind of over it. And I'm like, it's okay. We got this. Right? And that's how it always is. Like, you have a baby and it was, like, painful and everything else. And then, like, 6 months later, you're like, I want another. So you can see again in this paper, there's both like a white and then like a vanilla or like a yellowed color before it hits the gold foil. And that's where you can really use whites or vanillas with this designer paper. Of course, that's the back side. So we're just going to layer all of these on the card front. I actually prefer to do these 3 sides more so than the other 3. And then I did this one, which can you guys see those dots along that edge? See how beautiful that is? And I love this little indentation up here before the rounded top. I love, love, love that. And if you really wanted to stick with like a rounded rectangle, you could also like kind of cut this little piece off and then just cover that edge with, with a die cut image. Like you could cover it with like various gold, die cut pieces or greenery or even ribbon on the end. And then you would still get that beautiful like stitched rectangle tag that would work really well. Okay, so I used Night of Navy ink for this one. And it's the most wonderful time of year. And I think, this one doesn't have... Wait a minute, which one did I use on the inside? Doesn't have a clear block. Ran out of clear blocks whenever I was loading them all up. But I think I might have some clear blocks I don't know, maybe Claire took a clear block or something. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And then on the inside, I did Merry Christmas, and I did the two-step stamping with that image. So we will do that here. And I did, where is, it this one? Why do I feel like, yes. Okay, so this one is full strength. And this other one is stamped off. I will say, like, needing to pull in some grid paper for stamping off is the one thing that I haven't quite gotten down with having the glass mat. Beautiful. And then I'm going to do that on the envelope as well. Here's Does it feel crazy to be working on Christmas cards right now? Or are you like, I love getting started early and I love Christmas, and like which boat are you in? I do like getting started early because I like being done early, only so that I can enjoy the holiday more. I feel like the more I leave to like the last minute, the more chaotic the holidays become, and then the more chaotic they are, the more I don't enjoy them. So I always try to like spread things out and do things early, and then I've also really just learned to say no to a lot of stuff around the holidays, as to not ruin the joy. You know, like I'm not going to run around everywhere like a chicken with my head cut off, if I'm not going to enjoy it when I'm there. Okay, so then I took this piece and I used gold foil paper, and I'm just going to kind of like use random bits and pieces to fill in around my greeting. And I did find this to be a little tricky. So don't feel bad if you're like, oh my goodness, what is she doing? Okay, we're just going to wing it here. Yes, TJ, totally. I enjoyed starting early so that it's like less stress. That's my thought too. But I also will say, I feel a little weird starting this early because I'm like, no, it's still summertime. Stop moving forward. Because I feel like I sometimes struggle with like not living in the moment, or at least mentally, you know, like I beat myself up like, oh, Laura, just relax and live in the moment. And don't worry about, the next thing. And I feel like this is kind of doing that, but I do have to say I really need to do some all occasion cards because I'm slacking. Like my bin is getting empty. Sadly enough, I feel like I've been sending out a lot of thinking of you cards lately. So stay tuned. August will probably be all occasion cards. And then I really feel like I need like one more. But this one's kind of a wonky one. So I might do like just like a little bit of it so that it does, like I can cut off, most of that. So now I'm going to flip it over and then just trim like on the edge. Okay. So there's that. And then I have the satin ribbon. I do love this satin. It's beautiful. Well, okay, so I love it for some things. It's beautiful. Satin is tricky to use because of it fraying and things. It is very smooth, but it is wide. And I will say, like, tying bows does kind of make for a little bit of a bulky card. So I tend to use it in ways where, like, I just, like, lay it across my card or things like that, more so than actually, like, tying big, like, beautiful knots or bows, because I just find that it, like, it's thick and wide and everything. So here I just looped it through, and then, you guys, this is, like, magical for me. In the Baker's Twine Essential Pack, there's white, black, gray, and vanilla Baker's Twine. And I go through the white and the black all the time. And I don't even know how many vanillas and grays I still have that I'm like, I don't know what to use this for. I don't need it. I'm always using black and white. And so the fact that I can use this vanilla Baker's Twine with this satin ribbon on these cards, I'm like, let's make 1 million of these cards so I can use this ribbon up and feel accomplished. Like, do you guys ever feel like that? You feel accomplished whenever, like, you use up, like, a full thing? Like, surely I'm not the only one that feels that way. So I just tied a knot right around there. So it kind of gave it a little bubble down there. Of course, the top kind of looks like a hot mess. So I am going to trim, now that it's, like, done and over with, trim it into a point. And like I said, I struggle with fraying and just do my best. And this one's, like, kind of good, but also kind of wonky. Okay. Awesome. And then this goes on the card front with dimensionals. There, I'll even out my overuse of dimensionals by only doing 5 on this one, which seems absurd for me, right? Okay. Most wonderful time of the year. I will say, make sure to tie your ribbon on first, because you don't want to center this label, or otherwise your ribbon is going to go over the top of the card. So you're really going to put it pretty low on the card to allow for that top ribbon to kind of foof out. Now, you could always, like, tie a knot and kind of make the tails come down and do that instead, and then you could center it better. But if you do it like I did it, you'll need room for the foofy at the top. And that is card number 3. Oh, wait, I also did Merry Christmas on the inside. Where is my Merry Christmas?
Mama.
Are you going to bed?
Yeah. I had some apple and peanut butter and sugar.
I love you. Night-night. Say bye, friends.
Bye. I'm going to bed.
Yep. Good night. I'll come say good night to you whenever I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of card are you making?
A Christmas card.
It's not even Christmas.
I know. How crazy.
What the heck are you?
I love you. Night-night.
Night-night.
Did you take your sword deck?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I love you.
Love you too. We're watching cyberspace.
Oh, okay. Merry Christmas. Oh, Claire, thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Merry Christmas. And that is card number 3. Sorry about that. Claire left and shut the light off on me. There's card number 2 and card number 1. So let me know in the comments which one your favorite one is so far. Oh, thank you, TJ. Yeah, she's loves to stamp with me. She's excited. Paper Pumpkin came in the mail, so we're going to do that tomorrow, I think. But at least she told me good night. My son, he said no when I said, or what she said, I love you. He said no because he was mad that he couldn't play with the marble run, which is over there. I know, isn't that font fabulous? It is from the Greetings of the Season stamp set. So this is one of the new online exclusives. And it's got lots of great holiday greetings, inside and outside greetings, in both that solid font and then the scrolly font. Isn't that fabulous? Love, love, love it. And if you super love that font, there's also Everyday Greetings, which uses those same two fonts and has everyday greetings like birthday, anniversary, thank you, and all of that. Hi, Elaine. So excited to have so many of you guys on. I really do appreciate it and love chatting with you guys. It's better than stamping alone. Okay, so this one is done in Old Olive. So like I said, after we finished the Night of Navy and the Blackberry Bliss, now we're in all greens. So there's technically Mossy Meadow, which I did do on this one. I didn't do any of the card bases in Mossy Meadow though. But I had that Soft Seafoam, Old Olive. This one has Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. And the next one has Soft Seafoam and Garden Greens. So all the greens. So then we have 2 sheets of the 3 3/4 by 5 of Very Vanilla. And I'm going to stamp the greeting in Pecan Pie. Do I use the greenery? I don't. Here I loaded these evergreen pieces onto stamps and I'm not actually using them. I could though. I could use them on this card or on the envelope. So this is going to be stamped in the lower right corner. And I stamped it in that Pecan Pie, which, like I said, I feel like has a very golden look to it. Super stunning. And then I'm going to put this on the card front in the center. And then I have 2 little strips. One is a 1/2 inch and the other one is 3/4. And hi, Shelly. Happy Friday to you as well. And it's the same piece. Great to use for scraps. And I'm just going to use one way and one the other way. So I like the gold foil, so I'm going to do more gold foil than the green. And this one is going to go all the way to the edge of my card, flush with the top and the bottom. And then this one is going to go right next to it. Again, flush with the top and the bottom. Great way to use up scraps, those little leftover pieces. Great way to add just a little something to your card. You can also use those scrap pieces for the inside to help decorate the inside. I know I'm not the only one who hates throwing scraps away, especially beautiful foil paper like this. So this is uses the die cuts. There's 2 different die cuts of the evergreen. And I did it in Mossy Meadow and the Old Olive. So there's a die cut that does the stamped evergreen, and then there's these 2 die cuts that overlap each other. So like you can see, one's smaller than the other. And there's just a few little things in there, so it's not like when you die cut it, you don't have to worry about like poke, a million and one like little pieces out or anything. So if you were to make multiples of this one, it wouldn't be awful. And then I'm going to use some glue dots to secure this down. I'm not going to use enough glue dots to like secure the whole thing down because I do want a little bit of like 3D-ishness. Is that a word? 3D-ishness? Ishness? But you know, like I want this end to kind of flop up a little bit to make it look more real. And then this one's going to kind of go across a little bit. And then, let's see, ran out of those mini glue dots. So I know I have you guys on YouTube as well as on Facebook tonight. And I love and appreciate you on both of those. But in case you were on one and wondered about the other, you can always find me at Laura's Stamp Pad. And you can find me on everything with Laura's Stamp Pad. My blog is laurastamppad.com. My YouTube channel is Laura's Stamp Pad. And I do have years and years of videos that you could search through. And also you can see that there's different categories too. So if you're looking for a technique or a quick tip or something like that, you can always find that there. And then of course my Facebook is Laura's Stamp Pad. There is a 1 at the end. So it is Laura's Stamp Pad 1. It shows a picture of the current catalog. So if you see another one that looks like it's me, that's the one that I had hacked, and I can't have access to that anymore. So you'll definitely want to go to Laura's Stamp Pad 1. But you can also find me on Pinterest. Again, all of my socials there, YouTube, Pinterest, my blog, all of that under Laura's Stamp Pad. Okay, so I'm going to do the bunny ear technique with this piece of ribbon. Again, this is that like soft, really like pliable ribbon. And I'm just going to wrap it around my pointer finger. So I'm holding it with my middle finger and my thumb, and it's just wrapped around like a little sweater around my pointer finger. And then I'm going to pull my pointer finger out, and now I have 2 bunny ears. See those 2 little bunny ears? Now I'm going to take those 2 bunny ears and tie a knot. And there you have your bow. You might be thinking that looks a little wonky. That's okay. I'm going to hold the center knot and pull my loops as I see fit. You know, like a little bit bigger on this side, a little bit smaller on that side, whatever that might be. And then I'm going to add this to my card front with the glue dots. Also, I have to say, if you like the glue dots but have a hard time picking them up, the Take Your Pick tool, there's the Crafter's Toolkit that has this dental looking pick. And I took a picture at my dentist, and it looks, you know, to like verify, like I really think that looks like the dental pick. It does. You can see my picture and PSA for going to the dentist on my Facebook. And it does. But also, it's easy to pop those on, and it's also easy to pull off that paper backing with this dental pick. Well, I will say ribbon is a little tricky, but yeah, super easy to do. So then my bow is just going to go up here. And if you have a problem where you're like, I really want my tails to go lower, add a glue dot and like make them go lower. You can make your ribbon do whatever you want it to do. Don't feel like the ribbon has a mind of its own and like it is what it is. No, you can tell your ribbon where you want it to go just by adding some adhesive. And then I added some of those cherry cobbler gems And like I said, since they're already in that little 3-pack, or that three-piece cluster, it makes it super easy to just add those right there. I felt like it needed a little bit more, but I also didn't want to overdo it. So I added an additional one down. Oh, the adhesive just came off on my glass mat. Okay. I just added a single down at the bottom. And I put it on the T. Well, that was actually really handy and easy. So there's that. And then for the inside of the card, I did Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I did it in Cherry Cobbler. But this is the only place that I use Cherry Cobbler. So if either one, you don't want to get out your Cherry Cobbler since you already have pecan pie out, or two, you didn't want to get out more than one ink pad or travel with more than one ink pad, you could always do that same pecan pie on the inside. So we're going to, and you could also do that evergreen too if you really wanted to. Where is my greeting? What did I do? Merry Christmas. Oop, and I have to wash it because it's in Night of Navy. I will say with this scrolly font, it's kind of hard to see, like, should I make it crooked? Should I make it straight? So don't worry if you struggle with that too, because I do too. So we're going to do Merry Christmas. And also, like, I don't want to use up my whole card because I have to sign my family's name, so I want to make it close together, but the Merry and the Christmas is loopy, and it's okay. You got this. And then we're going to do, and Happy New Year. So there's like a little bitty ampersand. And then I think I put these on a single stamp last time. So it's making me a little nervous to do these separate. And hopefully I can get them level. I feel like I nailed it. Might be a little over to that side, but fabulous. And I'm not actually going to add additional greenery. I mean, I probably could like up in this area, but since I used that smaller piece that's 3 3/4 by 5, and since I have a family of 4 now, and I write really big whenever I sign my name, then like that's going to take up all down here, so I don't really want to add a lot of greenery. But if you don't like to write a lot and all you're doing is like putting like love mom, or like if your names are short, like Joe and Jack or something, I don't know why those are the first names that popped into my head, then you could simply decorate more with like either the evergreens or the designer paper evergreens, or stamp some evergreens on there. So yeah, you can add or subtract a little to that as you wish. So this is card number 4. And then I think we have 3, 2, and 1. And now we're on our 5th and final card. And I posted about this on my Facebook the other day. And it was a whole mess of little bitty scraps. And I said, are these going in the trash or are these a project? And you guys know me well. It's a project. Of course. 1, I couldn't throw those away. And 2, I actually like specifically cut them for this. But I will say I did this card last whenever I was creating my cards so that I could use the leftover pieces from some of the other ones. Like for example, this one uses a 3 3/4 by 5. So there's like a little strip left over at the out of the 12 by 12, and then so that I took and cut into 1/2 inch by 3 3/4, and so I have 11, or should have 11 total scraps here, and I'm going to put them on here. The 10 goes on the front, number 11 goes on the inside, and really you're just going to wing it, okay? There's no, like, I kind of went like a little this way and a little that way. I didn't do, you know, like a straight block, but the only advice I have is to wing it and have fun, and it's okay. It's completely okay. So I'm going to put my first one down in what I think is the center. And it's, you know, centered. And then I'm just going to start building out. So this happened to actually be the same one. But I'm going to go a little to, and these are butt up right next to each other. So I'm going to go a little to the left. And I'm going to do a solid gold. A little to the right. I might have to keep, like, flipping this over. And then, let's see, some plaid. And we're just going to fill in to the end. I feel like this next one needs to be a little lighter, but I don't really want my bell to be sideways, although a lot of that's going to be covered up right there. So you know what? I'm going to do it. And then how about another gold strip? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 8, 9, 10. 3 more to go. So I think I'm going to do, no, I think I have too much of that. Maybe 8. Maybe I'm going to stop at 9. And then 9. And have a little green on both ends. I will say that you could probably do some intense, like, spacing, or even possibly space like X amount in on either side and start on the outside and work your way to the center. I don't know. But I found that I really didn't notice it that much. Like, this one is technically, there's more green on this side than this side. But, like, I feel like it's just a fun card. I also can't decide whether I want this to be secure or not. Like, when it was like that, I'm like, oh, it doesn't need to be secure. And then it, like, flopped down, and I was like, I don't know that I like that. Maybe I should have secured it. So let me know. Would you secure it so that it stays exactly where you want it to be? Or do you kind of like it floppy? Let me know. Hi, Jenny. Oh, you missed the kids, so you're going to have to watch the replay. Both of them were actually on tonight. Alex was mad that he didn't get to play with the marble run, and he had to go to bed, though. So he wasn't the happiest. In fact, he even said, I'm sad. Okay. So, see, I feel like I have more equal garden green on this one than I do on the last one. And I left off number 10. But I maybe will add, I mean, I could always save it, but I'm going to add the 11th strip, in this case, the 10th strip, to the inside of the card. And technically, if I wanted to, I could add one to both sides. But that's a little extra decoration. Or I could always add it to the envelope. So this is, the other one was the heart one, and then this is the other greenery foliage that I don't know what these are called in the stamp set. So it's golden greenery. Like I said, I know that's evergreen, but I have no clue what these two are, and that one just looks like hearts. So there's the die cut that goes with the stamps, and then there's also the die cut that does just like the freeform image, like the evergreen, this one, and the hearts. So we're going to use this, and again, I didn't actually adhere it down. I just kind of placed it down like this. You could add like a dab of adhesive right there because then your greeting is going to go over it. So it's okay. So if you feel like you want to secure it a little bit to make it like not move. And then these are two of the labels. So this one actually doesn't have the dots. Actually, neither of these have the dots, the dotted edge. This one's just a nice oval or rounded square or whatever. I don't know how you would call that. And then this one has the point and the banner tips. And we're going to do Happy Holidays. So you like it floppy? This one I might secure, and then that way I can give people the option. I have to clean my glass mat after this. Happy Holidays. And then I use that fun thin ribbon and the baker's twine. So rather than making a knot, I just did a loop. And then I'm using up that vanilla baker's twine that I have so much of. And I tie a knot around it. Okay, so there is my little knot, bow, ribbon loop, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just going to add dimensionals down to the end. You normally don't like cattywampus, but you want it to be floppy for this card. I love it. You just never know. Like, the things that you're like, well, it's normally not my style, but, and that's okay. And now we're going to use those, the three-peat one of the crystal. And put that right there on the end. So this one's not floppy. This one is floppy. And that is card number 5. Let me know which one your favorite one was. Let me know if this has inspired you to get started on your Christmas cards. Again, I really just use mostly pumpkin pie. Or pecan pie, pecan pie for this class. So again, I really, like, especially when making multiples, I really like to limit my number of ink pads because having a whole bunch of ink pads open on my desk just is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. And so, you know, I really don't like to have a whole bunch open. So it's awesome to just have one ink pad. And then if my mom wants to stamp with me and I travel with them, then I can always travel with them and not have to load up a ton of different ink pads to be able to do that. So here are all of the cards. Let me know which one your favorite one is in the comments, and definitely give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and share. Let your friends know it's free to watch. You can re-watch this as many times as you'd like as well. So that's an extra bonus too. If you'd like to come back to this in November, you certainly can. I also have a link down below to my Etsy shop so that you can get the PDF tutorial with all the measurements and dimensions and supply list and also step-by-step tutorial instructions for this class. I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a wonderful weekend. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you guys. Happy stamping.